Hey guys, so before I start the video, I want to take the time to wish everyone a happy new year. We have officially started 2024, so yay! And I want to wish everyone a happy holidays. I hope you enjoyed the holiday season. As you see from the title of the video, I want to talk about some tips for grad school interviews. This is something I wanted to do before the holiday season, but obviously things got a little hectic for me between enjoying the holidays with my family, work, grad school. But nonetheless, it's a new year, new me, as they say, and I want to take the time to do this video and talk a little bit about my grad school interview experience and share some tips with you guys. So my first tip would be early to your interview. If you played sports or did any type of extracurriculars in high school or college, there's a saying that says on time is late and early is on time. So your first impression, in my opinion, is going to be punctuality. It shows that you're ready for whatever they have to throw at you, not just in the interview, but in the program. It shows a level of professionalism, a level of respect, and a level of seriousness for what you want to get into. So I definitely recommend being early. Number two, I think this ties into first impression, but dress professionally. I recommend business casual. For me, for my interview, I wore a simple dress, some knee-high boots. I had some earrings in, a pair of glasses, and a coat. You don't have to wear dresses, obviously. If you're a guy, you most likely you're not going to wear a dress. But if you're a female, business suit, pants, button up, business casual. You want to present yourself again in a professional manner. You want to look nice. You want to make a good first impression. Number three, I would say do background research, not just on the program, but on the school in general, and be prepared to ask questions. So, in an interview, obviously, as an interviewee, you are prepared to answer questions, but it also looks good to the person who's interviewing you if you have questions. So, for me, my counseling program has two tracks. One is a thesis track, one is not. So I asked questions on how is it different? What does the thesis process look like? Do I get to work with professors and other students on my thesis? What's the benefits of doing the non-thesis track? Can I change my mind? Things like that. All those things are really impressive. It shows that not only you're interested in the program, but you're trying to tailor it to your own personal interests. So ask questions, ask questions, ask questions, and ask questions. Number four, be confident. In my interview, there were a decent amount of people, and you can tell the people who are nervous, and you can tell the people who were excited to be there and were fully confident. If you are applying to grad school and you have gotten invited to an interview, it means you qualify to be in the program, and it means they like you enough to initiate that conversation. So be confident in your work in undergrad. Be confident in your ability to not only get accepted, but to complete a program, and be confident in your skills. You can bring something to the table. You can make that program unique. You can make that program better with your thoughts, with your ideas, with how you see things, your perspective. So be confident. It's natural to be nervous, yes, but be confident. You've made it to the interviews, so you have a right to be confident. And last but not least, I would say be open-minded. For me, my interview was not what I expected at all. I'm not going to lie, I was nervous for the interview, but I'm a naturally anxious person, so I'm easily nervous about certain things. But my interview felt more like a conversation. It was very comfortable. The person that interviewed me tried to get to know me. They asked me what I did. I said that I was a peer educator, and we ended up talking about work and what I love about work and why I want to be a counselor. And we ended up, talking about issues I was having at work and how I resolved those issues. Going back into being confident, be prepared for those curveball questions. So you're not always going to get the pie questions of what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. I think a question that stood out most to me was in my interview. The person interviewing me asked what was the most difficult moment in my life and how did I persevere, or how do you deal with constraints. those weren't necessarily questions that I was expecting, but you have to be on the fly. You have to be ready to have an answer, but at the same time, don't rush your answers. Think about what you're going to say. You don't have to necessarily be polished, be yourself, but take the time, think, have a logical train of thought before you answer those questions. So, a little bit about how my interview was set up. When we walked in, we checked in to, sorry, there we go. When I walked in to the interview, it was a long hallway. We signed in and we each got these bags. And inside the bag was this folder that is now bent up, and it has my name on it. They gave us a pen with the university's name. We got like the stress ball with the university's name. It's in the shape of an apple. And we got hand sanitizer. So how the interview was set up. So they had coffee for us, and they gave us name tags, and we got our pictures taken, and we were split into two groups, Group A and Group B. I was in Group B. So if you were in Group B, there was a self-portrait activity that you had to do, and then a group activity, which is essentially a group interview, and then after you finished those two activities, you went into the big lecture hall, and they had you write an essay, which ironically was the same essay they put on the application, but they wanted to see if we would produce something different, or the same, or something in the middle, and they would call us individually for our interviews. So the self-portrait, this is why I said be open-minded, because this is not something that I was expecting, and please don't laugh, because I'm not an artist. I am originally a science major. I don't do a lot of drawing, but this was my self-portrait. So basically, she gave us 10 minutes and told us we had, markers, construction papers, pipe cleaners, felt, and we just had to draw a self-portrait. And she made us go around and ask why we drew those things, why do we feel the way that we felt about ourselves. And my explanation was, I'm a girl, I have brown hair usually, and in my interview my hair was in braids. I said I like wearing dresses because I usually wear dresses to work, and I'm a summer baby, so I like sunshine. It was fairly simple. So again, be yourself. There were other people that talked longer in my interview for the self-portrait, and I talked a short amount of time because that's just me. It doesn't take me long to describe myself. But a question that she asked us was, how did you deal with the time constraint? Because a lot of people struggled with that aspect. And again, my answer was, if I know that I have X amount of time and X amount of materials, I don't think of doing something extravagant that I know is going to take hours upon hours upon hours. If I have 10 minutes to do something, I focus on what I can do in 10 minutes with these set of materials, and I go from there. So again, you don't have to be super deep in these interviews. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just be yourself. So that's why I said be confident and be open-minded, because even if you have a short answer or a long-winded answer, confidence takes you a long way. So that was the self-portrait. The group activity, the same people we did the self-portrait with, we went in another room, and there was another interviewer, and she basically gave us a prompt saying that NASA ranked X amount of materials in order from priority, like 1 to 10, and as a group we had to rank those items ourselves, and in the end she compared our answers to NASA's, and I thought that was really cool. So the person interviewing us, she got to see how we interacted as a group, how we listened to each other's thoughts, etc. So again, after that, went back to the lecture hall, wrote my essay, got my name called, went in, had a conversation with one of the interviewers who was a professor or is a professor at the institution I am now attending. And like I said, it was a very casual conversation. She made me feel very comfortable, very welcomed. I feel like she also gave me confidence because she told me to relax and that they already liked me, um, because I made it this far. And I had applied for a CRISP scholarship, and I'll get into that in another video. So we talked a little bit about that. And then after my interview, I ironically was the last interview, we got dismissed for lunch and we got to sit down with each other, prospect classmates, and the professors sat with us at the tables, which was a really cool experience. It made it feel very homey, very personal, very welcoming, and that was another opportunity for us to have our questions answered, to get to know each other, and it was a really great experience. So those are my 5 tips for grad school interviews. New Year's, so everybody applying to grad school or even undergrad, if you're watching this video, I wish you good luck in your respective programs and in your respective application processes. If you have any questions specifically about my interview process, if you want a deeper explanation, if you want to know more about school counseling, feel free to leave a comment down below. But until next time, see ya.